All right, time to start messing with my 800, and now it has 861 miles, and I'm going to start messing with it. So start playing with it. So the car had the pretty typical high impact, like dealer package. Sure seems like it. This to me looks like 2013 3M film. I've already removed all of it with the exception of the hood here, just because I was impatient and I was just working on it yesterday afternoon and evening. So it had a roof stripe, had the A-pillars, had the mirrors, had the one of those things called on the bottom there. Yeah, little rocker panel thingies. It had the sort of sides of the rear bumper. Had the front, obviously the front bumper, so I've had that all, gotten that all removed. The only thing I'm a little nervous about, I did remove it off the fenders. There's a really solid line here. I'm hoping that's the coating. EAG coats all their cars with Art to Shine graphene, whatever it's called. And so I'm gonna have to remove the coating, or at least scuff up the coating in order to get the to PPF. We're gonna wrap this car. I haven't decided yet. I've been talking with Expel. Ryan Burrows from Auto Paint Guard is going to come up. We're going to shoot a whole cinematic series, or at least a video, maybe two, on doing PPF on this entire car. Normally, I wouldn't PPF my M3s because I'm not really doing much with them other than driving around town. I just manage following distance. I mean, I live in Central Florida, so we don't have snow and salt and all that stuff. But for this car, being it's an 800-mile time capsule, I think it's probably best that I do a wrap on this thing. But I do want to make sure it's fully corrected and also PPF isn't going to stick to the coating, so we'll have to remove that. So I'm also going to work on removing the front and rear badges. I&D actually paints. They make a version where they paint the edge, which I know it sounds like a ridiculous thing, but it makes a pretty big difference. I'm going to pull the M3 badge off, which I'm sure will make many of you angry. The only badge you need on an M3 is right here, the hump, and then I'm going to pull the rear badge off because I'm going to be replacing that. So, the other thing I'm going to pull off here today is the rear deck spoiler. So let's get this badge off. It looks like they actually, it looks like they did PPF under this. Normally they would cut around this at a dealership, so I don't know. I'm just making that up, that it was dealer installed. This is something every car guy should have. This is my friend Derek from Sound of Motion turned me on to this, but this is essentially like your thumbnail, only metal. Now you want to be careful when using this around paint. I don't know if this is going to be good for this. Yeah, it should be good. All right. So, a lot of times these badges I can pull off with my fingernails, but this one's going to be a little trickier. Now, there are two little pins on here. Heat it up a little bit. The other thing I could consider doing is pulling the PPF back and then just pulling it off. That's probably what I should do. So the good news of the PPF removal on this car, a lot of times if this had seen lots of sun, it could be a real bad time trying to get this off. But I've been able to get it off with pretty much all the adhesive coming with it. Gee whiz, man. Sucker's on there tight. I don't want to dent the hood. Wow. I don't like that. I mean, we've gone through all the adhesive. I don't like that. I do not like that. Yeah, but see, I'm not touching the paint here with this. I mean, the hood's all aluminum too, so if I pull too hard, I mean, normally this thing comes right off. So the adhesive's loose, so now it's the two centering pins that are holding it on. I'm going to start off on a really bad footing. I'm going to paint the whole car. This is like a riveting BMW theater here for the people. I'm worried about. I hope that's just the PPF that I scored there.
It is. It's just barely even. Yeah, it's just the PPF.
Dang it, man! Come on off. Come on. We'll give away this car. There it goes. No, the PPF's not even freaking
It's right here.
Yeah.
The good news is
it will be.
Where you touched was PPF because it's all the way inside.
Okay, so let's do a little bit simpler thing, and that's. I mean, I needed to take that badge off anyway if I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
For 1995.
All right, so this is a Dupre Tosca, and we're going to make sure that we're heating ahead of where we're pulling. So if you heat ahead, then your chance of the adhesive breaking and getting left behind, because that's a nightmare. Have you ever done that before, where you pull the PPF off and it leaves trails of adhesive behind it? It takes hours to get that crap off. So this, I've been really fortunate. This car probably hasn't seen a lot of sun, and so this adhesive is coming off. Even though this was probably done in 2013, late 2013, it should. This part should come off if it comes off like the rest of the car. I'm going to heat it up. Be careful of my nail. So what I'm doing with my nail is I'm not digging into the paint. I'm lifting up to get this started. I'm cheating here because I'm showing you this is the easiest part to do. The whole car should be anyway. If you don't have a steamer and you need to take some PPF off, get one. Borrow one, rent one, something. It just takes a lot of the risk out of the equation. Now watch what happens in just a few, less than a minute. If I take the heat away from this PPF will become so much more brittle. You know, so we'll leave that sit there, and I'll show you in a second how difficult this would be if you didn't have any heat. You could use a heat gun. I just think that the steamer, without a steamer, I wouldn't want to do this at all. So they did a lot of areas. They did I have to do the door pocket too. I forgot to do this side. If I pull from like there were some of these areas where I pulled from a weird angle. If you pull from a wrong angle, then that's when the top coat breaks, or I guess it'd be the bottom coat. The adhesive coat breaks, and then it starts leaving trails behind, which makes it 10 times harder to get off. Keep this just like you would a hollister. The key is start as slow as humanly possible. I kind of know what speed I can go at now because I did a bunch of other surfaces on the car, but when I first started, I would do it like this, really slow, one small little section at a time. Man, my freaking hands are raw from yesterday. Another little trick you can do to help your hands. Let me go behind here. Just put a glove on. It'll help your fingertips at least. So the rubber pulling against the plastic, and rubber on rubber makes it so it doesn't hurt as badly. So the water, I mean, the steam is not doing anything. The water isn't. It's the heat. But steam is such even heat. Works out perfectly for this. Let me get this. Let me pop this so I can get this released. They did edge wrap the front here. It's a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. The bigger the piece, the harder it is. The easier it is to get off, like from a safety perspective, but the harder it is to pull on. I don't know if this matters, but there's a little line of adhesive. But I don't like to pull from I don't think you should pull from here. I like to keep down closer to the paint surface. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but it sure seems like a better way. Doing a stripe like this would be worse than rock chips, because if this car was out in the sun, and I'm hoping that I can get this line out here, this makes it 10 times worse. You'd rather have rock chips in 2 different colors. Makes no sense at all. Same thing with the roof. You know, they did a stripe in the roof, and I'm gonna have to compound the crap out of it to get that line to come out. I'm sure there's some more efficient ways. If you did this all the time, you could probably figure it out, but just have to switch hands. So can you see these adhesive, just a little bit of adhesive lines just from me not managing the heat properly? So there's a little line, but that'll wipe right off with a little bit of Tarex. Look how yellow that is. It's terrible. Ah! Don't do that. Jeez, we're almost there. See, that angle got a little too aggressive, so I left a little bit of adhesive on the edge here, so I should keep coming this way. I think everything I do on this car, everybody's gonna be on the edge of their seat nervous I'm gonna mess something up. I probably will. Let's do this door handle over here real quickly, and then we'll come and chase our adhesive. There's not much, which is good. Nice. I'm going to use a towel. It's a fancy towel that I don't normally use, but I was using another towel and I made some rubbing marks earlier. And now I just want to chase any leftover adhesive. The car, I had already washed it, or did a waterless wash on it, rinseless wash. And so it's got some tape or some adhesive marks along the way here. And I know there was a spot right here that I gotta get. Yeah, here, here. I've lost the touch of my fingertips. Ooh, there's a big, kind of a dull spot right here. Use some Tarex. I haven't needed to get anything more aggressive. I'm just spray a little Tarex on my towel here. I'll use that to get these little trails off. These trails would probably come off with polishing, but you always want a decontaminated surface if you can help it. It's this line here that I'm nervous about. Now, I don't like to leave, this is a N914 in this bucket here. I just don't like to leave Tarex on the surface if I can help it. So we'll just wipe it down. No damage even from our emblem scare. Yeah, I've learned over the years that, you know, I used to just real gently do things, but sometimes you just gotta muscle it, you know? So it seems that badge has never been off. I would assume they would have taken it off for PPF. And we got an equally gnarly task in taking the rear deck spoiler off. The rear trunk spoiler in favor of the M Performance. All right, let's take the badges off the back. I bet you I can just pull it off. I've removed my fair share of M3 badges. Ooh, we might even get lucky with, yeah. That doesn't happen very often. Boom. Again, I'm not touching the surface of the paint with this metal finger thingy. You guys are gonna be so sad. Guess whose car this is? Mike, whose car is this? It's my car. And you know what I like? No M3 badge on it. I don't know why, it just looks, that to me just looks so clean. Here, we'll put it right here for you. I do like Obsessed Garage badges on my shirt, though. That's what gets everybody real mad. Let's put it on my desk. Is this cool? We'll leave the, let's do it a little wonky like that. It's perfect. We'll leave it right there, just for you guys.
Oh man, I missed the sacrilege.
Yeah, look at that. Came off in 2 seconds. Let's see about this one. The rear badge is always hard to get off too. I just would rather just pull the adhesive, but it's not gonna work. Because of the angle of this, like you don't have a choice, but the, you know, the fishing line kind of contacts the paint. You know, like up here, we're gonna pull up, so we avoid, hopefully avoid, you know, contacting the top of the trunk when we take this rear spoiler off. But this section is kind of difficult to do that. Now this badge will have to go back on. I'm just doing the black one. Nope, I'm gonna have to do it. I don't like it. Nope. You know, Mike, I used to worry when I was taking off badges on camera. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I was real nervous about what people thought. Oh yeah, I'm about as worried now as I was then. Come on, BMW. I ain't scared, Jeff. It's only paint. I think this 12-pound test is just a little bulky for this job. The only advantage of the 12-pound is it doesn't break as much. All right, let's steam it. Steam it. I don't like heat guns very much, if I can help it.
No, I know. Just maybe get your fingers under it first, and like I guess you kind of, and then just maybe now put those under the bottom, so you can just pull out. Now you can just get. I don't want to take thunder away.
Go for it, Mike.
No, I'll let you. That's your car.
My fingers are raw. Here, pull on it, Mike. See if you can pull it. Then we can blame you when paint comes with it.
Oh gosh, don't say that.
Yep. There we go. This one left residue behind, but the other one didn't. All right, 3 down, 1 to go. Yeah, it's on 12-pound test. So this here, you're still gonna make some marks on the paint, but you wanna pull up against the spoiler as much as you can. It'd be nice if I could just pull it off, but it's on there pretty good. At least we got lucky they didn't beta link it. You know, some of these things they beta link. It was always a big forum debate. Should beta link it or not? So then if you stick this under, it gives you a little more play. Who told me it was the Ford forums? They're like, just use cardboard. Get cardboard under there and start sawing through it. I'm sure it would work. Because that, you know, the GT350 is like big. Gosh, I feel like this is not doing anything, but I guess I did make some headway. Should be a 10-minute deal turned into an hour real quickly. The best is when the guy who owned this car originally, when his buddies tell him, hey, did you see the guy that got your car?
All that saving you did, he's already turned his car. Yeah.
He's hacking the thing apart. You could have bought any M3. You have to ruin this museum piece. See, I mean, but this is why I bought this car, because I wanted to redo all this stuff to this car. Like, I don't know, man. I was going to basically pay someone to do all the E46 stuff. Boom. That's it. See you guys in about a week. I don't think I'm eraser wheeling it. That thing just makes me nervous. All right, so this is a Dynabraid. So this is an eraser wheel. When I watch Jose do this on my E36, like back and forth 100 times. I can't do it, Mike. I'm just gonna do it the hard way.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I know this way will work. So we'll just Tarex it up, and we'll do it one section at a time. I'll see you guys next week. Ready for this, Jeff? You've been waiting for this? This is what every car guy should do immediately, as soon as you get a car. Because of that. That's why you take that stupid thing off. I didn't do that on purpose. And you just go like this. Modified. And I grab a blade and just flush that up. But there's no reason, I'd rather drop this in the ground than do what I just did there and smack the darn car with it. You can buy a new gas cap. They're like 50 bucks. Done. Can't believe I did that. I dropped it right on the fender. I did not want to do that. Did not want to do that. So I'm going to sit here for a few days and then get this off, and we'll come back to you whenever I'm done and show you the final result. All right, so that's a wrap on the, I'm not going to say that word on camera, I'll probably get in trouble for it, but the gently touching and loving on the E92. I'm prepared now. It's prepped for the reason why we did this. I didn't show this before, but to do the M Performance rear spoiler, I got to go get some VHB, some 3M VHB. So this is going to go and cover right here. But first thing I'm going to do is polish the car. So this is why we took this off for the good old-fashioned, BMW M Performance. So that'll cover up the imperfections. They put the rear deck spoiler on. They put it on so early that it really does kind of damage the paint. But I guess if you never see it again because you're going to put this on. But I mean, the paint has an indentation in it that I don't even think with wet sanding would come out. Now, the one thing I didn't mention on this car, for whatever reason, this car was perfect. The guy was neurotic and nervous about this area of the car for some reason, and so they didn't take the spoiler off. He had it taped and had just this section had added more clear, and you can see the line of where they just taped off the car and the deck spoiler. The other thing that happened is probably from the clear is that when I removed the sticky stuff, the VHB on the back of the badge, I'm lucky though, this little chip is going to be behind the badge. So, but everything else turned out all right. I'm sure you guys are freaking out when I'm trying to rip these badges off, but that's what you got to do to get them off. You just take your time, work at it, and then it'll come off. So we'll put this on after I polish. I'm going to polish the whole car and chase if there are any little scratches or anything like that. It shouldn't need to be polished again because we're going to do PPF on the thing, and because of the amount of sun and the amount of outdoors this thing's going to see, that PPF, we're doing Expel Ultimate or whatever they call it now. They have so many different names, but the Expel that we're putting on here will probably be on here for 7-8 years, something like that. We'll see. But everything turned out great. All the PPF came off. All the paint is in fantastic condition. There's not a single chip other than this on the entire car, which this is behind the badge, so we're safe. And I'll come back to you. Our next video will be polishing. But make sure, prepare yourself. My M3, my LeMans, I guess this is my M3 too, I need to stop saying that, but my LeMans M3, the previous version, it's going to be given away as is, with one exception. I'm taking the M Performance seats out, and then I'm putting Recaro Sportsters in it for the giveaway. So I'm cheaping out on you. I want the OEM Performance for this car, so that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, this thing's going to turn out great. So we'll see you in the next video of the M3. February 1st through February 28th is the start of the giveaway, and then we'll be at BMW Invasion. So if you're thinking about coming in, BMW Invasion in Central Florida on February 19th. We're going to have my entire setup, this car, the giveaway car, my E36 will be there. So make sure you're making plans to come out and see me there. We're going to bring all of our apparel, all of our detailing stuff. You'll be able to buy raffle tickets for the giveaway. It's going to be pretty cool. So see you on the next one.